Hi there, welcome to layout update number 3. In this update we're going to look at some track changes and some new cars that we got for Christmas and at repairing a Lionel starter set steam engine. So these are two of the newest additions to the train. We got these for Christmas. My wife got one for me and one for my son. And this completes the collection of the Canadian Pacific high cube boxcars. They're all different numbers, and we now have 3 of them. And they're pretty awesome looking when they're running down the track. Here we have one other train. Now I didn't get this for Christmas. I actually got this for my father for his birthday, but he decided that it would be best over here with the layout. So it's the Nanaimo and a Esquimalt and Nanaimo wood-sided reefer boxcar, and that's where we grew up, in Nanaimo, BC, on Vancouver Island. And this is a special car that was made by the train association here in town, and it's a pretty beautiful car. It's an MTH Premier line, and it's really highly detailed. The doors open and everything. It's just a beautiful car. So between Christmas and New Year's for me is always a fun time to try to work on the layout. I'm done visiting all my family now, so we're home, and so I'm just doing a few things just for fun puttering. One of them is I managed to find a supply of 072 027 track, which is very hard to find because they're definitely not making it anymore. Only K-Line ever made it. This is it here, and it's really nice track. I managed to find 27 pieces off of eBay, and I've never seen it come up, or I haven't seen it come up in a long time, and I saw it, so I jumped on it. So I'm kind of retrofitting the layout with some of this just to add some more aesthetics than anything else. In this curve here, the curve that goes up, what I had to do is it's got a lot of 054 in it and straight sections. There's a straight under here and another straight in here, because the curve actually needs to be much wider than 054 for it to accommodate the way it is on the layout. So it's a prime example of going back, and I can take out some of that 054 and the straights and put in some 072, and the train just looks so good going over that. What it looks like I'm going to have to do, I'm just laying it out now, is probably going to have to put maybe one piece of 054 in here, just to get it so it doesn't come out too close to this outer track, because I'd like to have room for this outer track plus a new track. So I need to accommodate that, but that's one area where I'm doing that. And then another curve I'm definitely going to, I feel like I'm going to do, is this curve here, this outer track. It's 042, I think that's 042 again, it might be 054. Then there's a straight that goes under the tunnel here, then another 042, and then another straight before it goes into this gantry crane piece. So I did manage to get the 072 into this curve today. I don't think I'll have time to do the other one today, but so now it's 4 pieces of 072 straight out of this junction, under there and along to there, and I think it looks great. Once I run some trains on it, I'll get some shots. It's just my son's sleeping right now right above the train room, right above the garage here, so I don't want to run a loud train right now. So one other area where I was able to put an 072 piece in was this piece here. It's an 054 with a little custom short piece on it, and it used to go in here, and now I was able to replace, just happened to be that turned out to be exact same length and radius of an 072 piece. So now it's 072 and then 042 in a kind of a reverse S there. Before it did have a little bit of short track straight in the middle, which was nice, but this is so much more gentle of a turn. It looks a lot better with the train running on it. So I have something a little different here today. I'm going to attempt to repair this engine. This engine was given to my son this year by Santa. It's from a Lionel set from about 2003. It's actually really good quality. It's it's back with the normal, you know, a transformer was included in the set, and it's all cast iron. It's beautifully detailed, extremely heavy, runs really well. Well, it doesn't run anymore, but it did run really well for about 4 weeks. It's been in the living room with my son, who's only 2.5, so he doesn't always get the wheels on properly. And one morning he was out there with my wife, and he got the wheels off wrong. He turned it all the way up. Instead of this transformer, you know, clicking off like it should have, it must have done something else. And by the time my wife noticed, she said it was smelling. I came out and checked. It was smelling quite badly. I took it off, and now it won't run in forward. It does seem to go in back in reverse a bit. And it definitely stinks when you turn it on. So something's not right. I think the circuitry's fried inside. I hope it's not the motor that's fried, because if it's the circuitry board, I'll just replace it with a TMCC board at some point here. But we're going to try to open it up and see what's going on. So we'll take a moment here, now that I have the shell off. I'm not sure which of these screws need to come off to take the shell off or not. It looks to me like the only ones that actually had to come off were the 2 longer ones in the front and the one in the back. So 3 total it actually looks like. This is a beautiful piece. It's all cast iron. It's heavy as heck. It's probably 3 pounds. You know, it's very impressive. As you can see, there's a huge wire wound resistor here. I think that's what that is. Flywheel, little mini flywheel on top of this little mini motor, and that makes it all go. Beautifully done. On this side, we see a circuit board, and I already see some smoke, some damage. Let me bring you in for a shot here. It looks to me like right in there we have a lot of badness. Those are the MOSFETs, I believe. So wow. I am by no means a electrical engineer or anything like that. I actually am a computer programmer by trade, but I've watched a few videos about taking this stuff apart, and mostly about electronics a little bit, so I do have an idea of what the components do. And I believe these 4 here, which I believe are MOSFETs, so I believe they switch from DC, the current from positive to negative, or something like that, really quickly, many times per second, and allow you to fake. It basically allows you to control a little motor, its speed. It's a speed control of the motor by turning the current on and off really fast. Instead of changing the voltage of it, you can just turn it off and on, and then when it averages out, it'll be like half the voltage if you have if they're turned on half the time. You know, and they do it so quickly that you don't hear it, and it just does that. So I just need to find a way to get this board out of here. So I'm just going to jump in here with some commentary. My original plan was to desolder the MOSFETs
and replace them with ones off eBay, but the desoldering of the board did not go well. I'm not skilled at that. So what you're seeing here is I'm actually swapping the board out for an old Lionel board that I had in an engine before I switched it out for a TMCC board. So it basically was just a scrap board that I had laying around. So I'm just wiring it into the engine to see if the rest of the engine still works and if it's worth proceeding.
So of course the next thing to do would be to test it before I try to put the shell back on and get all those wires shoved in there. This is a very old board that I replaced it with, so we'll just see. This is the transformer, and you know, the set is really high quality. The track is way nicer than the old 027 track, except for what I said in another video where, you know, you couldn't do custom layouts as fun with this kind of track. But like, take a look at this boxcar. The weight is amazing. Metal everything. It's just super well made compared to what they used to make for a starter set.